All right, thank you. I real quickly would like to introduce the new board of the Heartland Youth Coalition. Troy is the first of many guest speakers that we're going to try to have throughout this next year that's going to address some of these issues, because one of the things that has happened for the coalition, as most of you know, I should say we lost, the Drug-Free Communities grant ended. We had used it up, our time frame was up, and with that ended Wilma and Isaac's jobs, and they were the ones that worked so closely with our youth. So it is now falling to us as board members, coalition members, teachers, court systems, anybody that comes in contact with children. We need to be aware of these things. And I, for one, was not aware of half of what he said. Some of it I already knew because of the teen pregnancy side of it. I look at those statistics all the time. But just in general, as parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, you know, we need to be aware of what's out there. Because like he said, it's widespread, it is everywhere. And when we say, oh, that would not be my so-and-so, whether it's my child or whatever, you know what, it could be, or it could be their best friend. So thank you, Troy, for coming and sharing that with us. That was wonderful. Now, I'm going to introduce the board. For those of you who do not know me, I am Sheila Hurrigan. I am the chair on the Washington County Heartland Youth Coalition. Dana Kelty is our vice chair. Kathy Carrico is our secretary. Mr. Isaac Fry agreed to stay on the board as a volunteer. He's our treasurer. He's also our volunteer director, because the programs that we have always done through the coalition, we don't want any of those programs to end. And every one of you were invited here for a very specific reason. We need help to keep this coalition moving forward. For the past, how many years has it been? 13, 14 years, the coalition has been a major force here in Washington County. And just because the DFC grant has ended doesn't mean that we want the coalition to end. The four of us all have jobs, just like you all have jobs. So we can't dedicate 40 or 50 hours a week to the programs. We are going to have a bigger base of members and volunteers. Now, I'm not asking anybody to take on any more jobs than what you're doing, but you know what? Every one of us knows somebody that maybe could help. So that's our plea to you today, all right? There are little index cards on the table. Take them. If you think of somebody, okay, that might be interested in coming on board with us, jot their name down in a way that we can contact them. Or you contact them and say, hey, the coalition needs some help. Could you give an hour or two a week to help with some of these programs? On the table also is a sheet. It's got the history and the development of the coalition. Now, it ends in 2012. We were here last year, but this was some information that we found, and we do not have the master, so I was not able to add to it. What I can tell you is a lot of what we did in 2010, 11, and 12, we repeated in 2013. We did have the town hall meeting. The youth were extremely involved. They went to several youth training camps, and activities went on all over town. We don't want any of this to end. We do not want to lose a single program. If you will look on the back of your agenda today, you will see that we have a calendar of event. This was the saddest thing I had to type up. It broke my heart. Because if you'll notice, a lot of the programs, by the dates, it says to be determined, TBD, because we don't have enough volunteers. The main one, and I'm putting this out there today, the main one is the RISE Youth Group. We do not at this time have a sponsor that will work with this youth group. And that's what the coalition is really all about, is the youth. So we need a volunteer that will step up and be a sponsor. Now again, it doesn't require 40 hours a week. But it does require someone that's willing to meet with the children once a month, have the youth meeting, take them to their activities, keep up with the things that they've got going on in the community. But we don't want this to end. One of the things about the coalition is we try to incorporate what they call 12 sectors. Is everybody familiar with that term, 12 sectors? Okay, what that is it includes youth, which is anyone under the age of 18, parents, because they're real important, okay? We've got business, we've got faith-based, school, law enforcement, health services, government, media, parents. I said parents twice, didn't I? Sorry. See, parents are real important. I got them down twice here. Prevention specialist, which would be like Troy and the Isaiah House. I want y'all to know we have representatives from the Isaiah House here. They also do a wonderful job in drug treatment, okay? And then civic and volunteer groups. These make up the 12 sectors. But we like to talk about a 13th sector that nobody wants to talk about. And this isn't on any grant. This isn't anything that's going to really be out there on any literature that we put out. But it's all the youth who we've lost in the past, either directly or indirectly, because of drug, alcohol, violence. That's all related to drugs or alcohol, okay? We have programs right now that we need support people for. We teach a class in schools called Too Good for Drugs and Too Good for Violence. We don't have a teacher right now, so that program's not being taught this year. Our kids are losing out. They need that information. Project Graduation is they've already started having meetings. We've always been a strong presence there. We have no way of being there. Strengthening Families program has always been one of our big major programs. And we still have funding for that. But we don't have enough teachers to do it. And by teachers, I just mean somebody that's willing to come and be trained in the material that can help us do it. You don't have to be a teacher, okay? I did it. I've been trained, and I am not a teacher in any sense of the word. Our back-to-school events. We partner with Miss Roberta Hunt to do the blast. We don't want to stop doing that. We've got our Kick Butts Day, which is the Stop Smoking program. We've got Red Ribbon Week. We have Truth or Consequences that we always help with and we're a presence in. What I'm telling you is the four of us cannot do all of this. We cannot be everywhere and keep our own jobs. And I don't know about these ladies, but my husband would not be happy if I quit my job. Anyway, that's why you've been invited here today. I may want to quit my job, but he would not be happy about it. But anyway, that's why we're asking you. We lost 80 hours of manpower when Isaac and Wilma's jobs ended. That's a lot of programs, and it was a lot of children that we affected. A lot of lives, family lives, that were actually changed and courses altered because of the coalition. So, take your index cards. Again, let me stress, I'm not asking any one of you to take on a job unless you feel led to do it. But we all know somebody that we could ask. On your agenda, please take your agenda. It's got our email address, it's got our phone number. If you don't have time to jot somebody down now and leave your index card on the little red basket, shoot us off an email or call us. All right, if there's somebody that you talk to that says, yes, I would love to help, have them get in contact with us. I don't want to sound desperate, but we're desperate. We're desperate. I came into the coalition myself many years ago. I think, what did we figure it up? Do you remember?
You would have come along about 99, 2000.
Right. So I've been with the coalition a long time. I was gone for a few years when we moved away, but as soon as I got back, the first thing I did was come back on the coalition. I believe in what we do. I strongly, strongly believe that we are making a difference. And like I said, we all have children in our lives in one way or another. We did a campaign that says, I won't be the one, And the whole campaign slogan is, I won't be the one to lose another friend or relative to underage drinking or drugs. Well, I don't want to be the one either. And I'm sure you don't either. So that's where we stand. We are going to have a core meeting next month. It is March the 12th. It's at 11:30 at the House of Hope. You all are invited to come back if you wish. All right, that's where we do a lot of the nitty-gritty, nuts and bolts business meeting. All right, but we do welcome the input from the community. We can't do this on our own. We just can't. All right. We're going past our 1 o'clock, but did you want to say something about funding real quick? Because we want to let these people get back to work.
Just a couple of things. I'm the chairperson for the Tri-County Kentucky Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention. Right now, we have 3 people filling those the representation for Washington County, and we need 2 more. The 3 people are Kathy Carrico, now that she's back on board, and Sheila Harrigan and myself. We need 2 more volunteers, and I just talked to one lady here a few minutes ago, and hopefully we might be able to get her. Wilma Sorrell is still listed on as a member, but she's currently working in Nelson County, and so she's would automatically be representing Nelson County. Hopefully she'll agree to stay on until we find another person from Washington County. Another thing I want to say is that in line with the money, funds, our major source of income or our funding right now is the Kentucky Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention. We call that ASAP. And that ASAP provides every little thing that takes place now here in Washington County. And I got a whole list of them. I'm not going to try to cover it all, but we do the blast. We do the safety day for the Extension Office, Truth and Consequences. We do the community programs like the Strengthening Families, her ongoing programs. We do work with law enforcement. We're still providing for that, doing sobriety checks, and then doing prevention material distribution with them. We still are going to do the working with the Isaiah House on the treatment programs. We're going to work with Troy. We're going to work with Lindsay Greiton to do counseling. We work with businesses like Charlie Hayden, his business, and then Channel 6 TV, the Springfield Sun, to get our information out. I started a program with Mr. Gary White called Prevention Tactics, and he produced that. And we've been running that for several years. We want to continue that. So these funds will help to continue that. But the main thing is not the money. Yeah, we can't run the things without the money. But the main thing is you, because you have contacts. And you have contacts with people. You have contacts with children. We're going to have to come up with new strategies to combat what we heard here today. I mean, what we did from 2003 to 2013 with the government funds, with the programs that I worked under, that was only a beginning. That was a startup fund to help keep things like this going. The next meeting we have here for luncheon, I want to see more of you. Invite somebody else. I'll do like we do at church. Bring somebody with you the next time.
Bring a friend.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, Isaac. All right. We're going to let y'all go. We went a few minutes over, and I do apologize, but thank you so much for coming. And like I said, please really think about who you think might be interested in coming along and doing some of these things. All right? Thank you very much. At this time, I will adjourn this meeting. Goodbye.